Take under a certain amount of money following graduation. Charlie Crist is running against DeSantis for governor of Florida.
I agree with this move, 100%. President Biden is leading so well. You know, the price of gas has gone down now 70 days in a row. He's just announced reducing the price of a college education. Everybody should be able to afford a college education.
The school board in Uvalde, Texas, voting unanimously last night to fire School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo for his handling of the massacre that left 19 fourth graders and 2 of their teachers dead. Dora Mendoza lost her granddaughter in the shooting.
We need justice for our kids. 21 lives lost. And Mr. Pete Arredondo is asking for justice.
Arredondo didn't attend the meeting, citing safety, since he said he wasn't allowed to carry a weapon. California lawmakers today expected to announce that there will be a statewide ban on all new gasoline-powered vehicles by the year 2035.
The new rules will require 35% of new cars sold by 2026 to produce zero emissions. That number climbs to 68% by 2030. And by 2035, all new cars sold in California must be free of greenhouse gas emissions.
That's ABC's Andrew Dimbert. A jury in Los Angeles County has found sheriffs, deputies, and firefighters violated the rights of Kobe Bryant's widow and another victim's family by taking and sharing personal photos of the helicopter crash that killed Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others. The award at least $31 million in damages. You're listening to ABC News.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit and little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text OFFER to 99799 and I'll send you my free training. I promise I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text OFFER to 99799 and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's OFFER to 99799. Again, text OFFER to 99799.
A fresh take on jobs across the country due out this morning with the latest look at unemployment claims.
After 2 weeks of increases, last week's jobless claims number showed a drop in first-time filings. The trend is expected to continue with this week's report. That's key, with experts worried the economy may be teetering on the verge of a recession. First-time claims are considered a proxy for layoffs, and a drop in filings shows the job sector is still strong.
That's ABC's Daria Albinger. A federal appeals court stopping a push in Mississippi that would open the door to people convicted of some felonies to vote again. Here's ABC's Mark Remillard with the details.
Attorneys had challenged a number of crimes which result in disenfranchisement, including forgery, arson, felony shoplifting, and more. The challengers said the section of Mississippi's Constitution that strips voting rights was originally crafted in the late 19th century with racist intent to target crimes they thought were more likely to be committed by black citizens. The section and the crimes under it, though, have changed over the years, and the appeals court said the challengers failed to show the current version is motivated by discriminatory intent. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Pleading guilty in California, a man who admits he smuggled more than 1,700 wild animals into the U.S. Jose Perez could face up to 20 years in prison. Prosecutors say he started smuggling them in 2016 and was caught in February with 60 reptiles hidden in bags of clothes. This is ABC News.
If you want to start the semester strong, Staples has you covered.
A gaming chair for my dorm. I mean, a desk chair for studying.
Staples has you covered.
A better way to organize my stuff instead of using milk crates.
A desk lamp to help me pull all-nighters.
Staples has you covered with remote workspace solutions. And now get 25% off desks, filing and storage solutions, lighting, and decor with the purchase of any chair. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 9/24. In-store only.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It's the time of year to come to NC Tractor for the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. NC Tractor gives fantastic customer service, the best discounts possible, and it's a locally owned business. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue is helping to make outdoor work more enjoyable. Should you have something that you can be proud of for a long time? Massey Ferguson and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. Come look them over. 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. That phone number is 288-0395. Stop by there. You'll get to see my buddy Phil Sheehan and talk with him about Massey Ferguson. 7:05 right now. Let's check that weather.
Heading into our Thursday, we are tracking scattered showers and storms, especially this afternoon. We'll see more clouds than sunshine as well, with highs topping out in the low 80s by this afternoon. Mostly cloudy and muggy for tonight, with lows falling into the upper 60s by tomorrow morning. Into our Friday, mostly sunny with a few isolated showers and storms tomorrow. Not looking at anything too widespread, but we should just keep that chance here tomorrow afternoon and evening. Upper 80s here to wrap up the week. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
And we're currently partly cloudy and 69 degrees here at our thermometer reading in beautiful downtown Whiteside Road. Now I have these death announcements. Carl Elms, 64 of Union Mills, died Monday, August 22nd. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service for Carl Elms. Margaret Ann Black Cricket Rollins, age 90 of Cliffside, passed away Wednesday, August 17th at her home. The family will receive friends from 2 until 4 o'clock Saturday, September the 10th at Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside. Eggers Funeral Home assisting the family of Margaret Ann Black Cricket Rollins. Don Tony, 82 of Rutherfordton, died Sunday, August 21st. The funeral will be conducted at 2 o'clock Sunday, August 28th at Crestview Baptist Church. Burial will follow at the First Broad Baptist Church Cemetery with Masonic rites at the grave. The visitation will be from 5 until 9 Saturday at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is serving the family of Don Tony. Jack Holt Husky, age 69 of Cliffside, passed away Friday, August 19th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills in Forest City. The visitation will be from 1 until 2:30 Saturday, August 27th at Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside. The rescue prayer and Masonic rites will be given at 2:30 following the visitation in the A.C. McKinney Memorial Chapel at Eggers Funeral Home in Cliffside. Burial will be at Cleveland Memorial Park in Boiling Springs, and Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside in charge of those arrangements for Jack Holt Husky. Osteen Ledford Medina, age 61 of Ellenboro, passed away Monday, August 22nd at her residence. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Friday, August 26th at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in Gatts Grove Baptist Church Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service serving the family of Osteen Ledford Medina. Joseph Randy Newton, age 67 of Forest City, died Saturday, August 20th at his home. The funeral service will be held 1 o'clock today in the Paget and King Chapel. Burial will follow in the Cool Springs Cemetery. Paget and King serving the family of Joseph Randy Newton. Mark Christian Widener, age 51 of Spindale, passed away Friday, August 19th at his home. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 today at McMahon's Funeral Home. The funeral service will be at McMahon's Funeral Home at 2 o'clock today, and burial will be at Southern Baptist Church Cemetery in Rutherfordton following the service. McMahon's Funeral Home serving the family of Mark Christian Widener. Albert G. Waldrop, age 75 of Rutherfordton, passed away Saturday, August 13th at the Upstate Community Hospice in Spartanburg. A service to celebrate Albert's life will be announced later, and Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service will have that service for Albert G. Waldrop. Anthony Farrell Edwards passed away August 23rd. Those arrangements will be announced later by McMahon's Funeral Home for Anthony Farrell Edwards. And, of course, the Reverend Dr. Phil W. Dunford's funeral celebration memorial will be held 11 o'clock August 27th. That'll be Saturday at Columbus Presbyterian Church in Columbus, North Carolina. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. Complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard this morning at 11:35. Now here's Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, AMAC is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful news, and a magazine full of uncensored content. They are pushing back against efforts to defund the police, weaken the borders, and corrupt our youth. But they need your help. Please stand with AMAC at amac.us. That's amac.us. On this Thursday, we have reported that approximately 5 million foreign nationals have crossed into the United States since President Biden was inaugurated in January 2021. 5 million. Now, there are two tracks, the political and the moral. On the policy front, the Biden administration has refused to enforce immigration law, and that has encouraged people from all over the world to come here without proper credentials. That is a fact. President Biden has violated his sworn oath of office to uphold the laws of the United States. For that, he could be impeached if Republicans win the House this coming November. The second part of the problem is how to handle all of these folks. The Trump administration sent many of the migrants back to Mexico. The Obama administration deported record numbers to their home countries. But now, Mr. Biden has decided that 5 million and counting migrants can reside inside the United States. And many of these folks desperately need help. Enter Catholic Charities, the lead organization helping settle undocumented foreign nationals. Well, what did anyone expect that group to do? Jesus stated quite clearly the poor must be helped. Immigration was not part of that moral mandate. The problem is that Pope Francis and other Catholic leaders ignore the legality issue, preferring to make the whole thing about morality. Are we supposed to obey Caesar or not? A very complicated situation. Back after this. Many timeshare owners are very upset because their yearly dues have nearly doubled. Well, Lone Star will guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. With their A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau, clients know that Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. For a free consultation, please go to lonestartransfer.com or call 855-551-7066. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Good morning. Good morning.
The Braves are out to defend their world title, and it all starts now as the push to the playoffs heats up in Atlanta.
Next pitch to Riley. Swung on, hammered to deep center. Hey, the man! Home run!
Tomorrow, the Braves look to keep the National League wins rolling as they head into Busch Stadium for a weekend with the St. Louis Cardinals. Braves Radio's on the air at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central on the Braves Radio Network.
This is Gilbert with a reminder. Tax returns are due. If you haven't filed your tax returns yet, give me a call at 828-289-9300, and we're announcing our grand opening of our newest location at 704 Oak Street in Forest City. We now have 3 locations to better serve you: Tryon, Rutherfordton, and our newest location at Forest City. Give me a call at 828-289-9300.
On the evening of August 21, 1832, a young man from Natchez, returning from a honeymoon, entered into a poker game with some riverboat gamblers. But that wasn't his biggest mistake. His biggest mistake was that he was playing with $50,000 he had collected from some of his hometown merchants. One of the spectators was a Southern gentleman dressed in a plain black suit. The Southern gentleman immediately saw that the game was rigged. When the young man's last dollar was gone, he jumped up from the table and headed outside. As he was attempting to jump overboard, the Southern gentleman grabbed him. Acting and looking every bit a preacher, the gentleman in black consoled the young man and took him to his cabin, getting assurances that he wouldn't try it again. The gentleman then went back to the 3 riverboat gamblers and got into the game. The table ended up piled high with money. The gentleman in black noticed one of the gamblers pull a card from his sleeve. In a single motion, he pulled an enormous knife from his jacket. "Show your hand," he yelled. "If it contains more than 5 cards, I shall kill you." 4 aces and a queen and a jack fell from his hand. The man in black said, "I shall take the pot with a legitimate poker hand of 4 kings and a 10. The pot contained $70,000. "Who the heck are you anyway?" screamed the gambler. "I am James Bowie," responded the man in black. With that, any impulse the gamblers had to fight was gone. Jim Bowie gave the young man the $50,000 he had lost and pocketed the remaining $20,000. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
When your taste buds are screaming for delicious, head over to Jesse James Railroad Express. Enjoy fresh-cooked burgers, garden salads, hot dogs any way you like, French fries. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. That's Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Call ahead, 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
All aboard the Call Around the County newscast now. It's 7:16. Let's go to the phones. And Sheriff Chris Francis is on the other end of the line. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. Hope you're doing well this morning.
I hope you're doing well.
I am that.
Good. Tell us what's been going on.
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 124 calls of service. There have been 16 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we had 211. Among those arrested, Timothy Dale Frazier, 56-year-old male of Shelby, was charged with failure to appear, received a $4,000 secured bond. Shelton Antoine Price, 28-year-old male of Kings Mountain, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 secured bond. Paige Laureen Lovelace, 27-year-old female of Shelby, was charged with possession of firearm by felon and littering, received a $25,000 secured bond. Christopher Allen Walker, 27-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of a firearm by felon and fleeing the lead arrest, received a $25,000 secured bond. Ronald Mark Walker, 57-year-old male of Boston, was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and trespass, received a written promise to appear. Yuri Jabbar Bowden, 38-year-old male of Rutland, was charged on a true bill, received a written promise to appear. Farrah Gwen Winters, 44-year-old female of Rutland, was charged on a true bill of indictment for habitual felon, and also received a written promise to appear. Dennis James Moore II, 26-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of controlled substance in jail, possession with intent to sell and deliver Schedule 1, and selling Schedule 1 controlled substance, and received a $75,000 secured bond. Gary Wayne Terry, 25-year-old male of Forest City, was also charged with possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule 1, sell Schedule 1, and possession of controlled substance in jail facility. Kip Allen Cooper, 43-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver meth, possession of stolen goods, drug paraphernalia, driving while license revoked, received a $15,000 secured bond. Carl Stephen Raschke, 33-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, felony possession, and resist, obstruct, delay, received a $6,000 secured bond. Among our incidents, we had an attempt to obtain property by false pretense on Webb Road in Ellenborough. Someone tried to use the victim's credit card, or actually their debit card, to put money on Cash App. They failed doing so, but hopefully we can identify that person. We had a possession firearm by felon and littering and fleet to elude arrest. The gun was a 9mm Beretta that was thrown out, and this is the case where Paige Lovelace was taken into custody, as well as Christopher Walker. We had a possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver meth, driving while license revoked, drug paraphernalia. This was on a vehicle stop on Long Branch Road in US 221. Kip Cooper had been stopped there. They were able to locate the meth and the baggies, multiple baggies, as well as he did not have a license and he had a warrant for possession of stolen goods previously. We had a B&E in larceny on Golden Oaks Lane. It was a Nintendo Switch valued at $400 taken, a 28-inch Vizio flat-screen TV valued at $200 that was taken, and a pair of red Air Max shoes. They were red and white, valued at $225 that were taken, and there is a suspect in that case. We have a felony possession of Schedule 2 resistor struck delay 221A in Sandy Mush. Deputies were looking for a suspect in a domestic, located him there on 221A in the Sandy Mush area, some of the side streets. He took off running. Deputies were able to locate him, and he had been in possession of Schedule 2 methamphetamine and was also charged for running where they identified themselves and asked him to stop while they were investigating the domestic assault that he had previously been involved in. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Sheriff, you mentioned this briefly on Tuesday. Could you take just a moment to elaborate on the new scanner that's coming that's going to help defy off the drugs that might be smuggling in?
Yes, sir. We're excited about getting this full body scanner, so X-ray machine. We've been working on purchasing this and getting it into the facility for a little over or almost a year now. We started last year really hard. We located the funds to purchase it, and then we had to wait on the Department of Health and Human Services that regulate any instrument or machine that uses X-ray. So we finally got that clearance, and it's scheduled to be in on the 31st. We'll immediately start training on that. It's very similar if you go to an airport before you board a plane. It's going to be able to detect both any object, not just a metal object. It will be able to help locate if someone has swallowed something that could be some sort of a baggie containing narcotics, any cavity, as well as anything that they could possibly sew into or have hidden about their body. So we're excited about that. It's going to be a great safety feature that's added to the Sheriff's Office, and excited to get that next week and get trained up on it.
Well, that's going to be a great thing to have around, isn't it?
It is, and we're also glad to have got the correct people charged, Dennis Moore and Gary Wayne Terry, that were involved in the distribution of the narcotics, the fentanyl pills that were pressed. It was appears to have only been 6 pills that were corded up and caused all this problem. 6 small pills caused all that problem that we had this week. It's hard for a lot of people to understand how deadly that these, how dangerous that fentanyl pills can be and how small they are. But please become educated and understand how dangerous that stuff is.
Thank you very much for this information, and you be safe out there today. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. "23 minutes after 7 o'clock on this cloudy Thursday morning, and we're continuing now with our call. And Tina's on the phone with 911 Communications. Tina, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on that report today?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 381 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 32 for EMS, 124 for the Sheriff's Office, 51 for Forest City, 34 for Rutherfordton, 9 for Lake Lure, and 39 for Spindale. Under fire calls, we had Hudlow respond to a fire alarm, and we had Rutherfordton respond to a fire alarm, and that's all we had.
Thanks, Tina. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Did you know that approximately 34% of women worldwide are affected by urinary incontinence? But there is good news. You don't have to suffer anymore. Brock Family Care in Forest City is excited to introduce a breakthrough treatment for urinary incontinence called BTL Emsella. All you have to do is sit on the Emsella chair for 30 minutes fully clothed, 2 times a week for 3 weeks, and your quality of life will significantly improve. Sound interesting? Then call 828-382-7282 to learn more about this amazing treatment, or visit our website at www.brockfamilycare.com.
Ruby Taylor is out this morning. No report from SDO, but we'll move right on up to the Fairfield Mountains Fire District and Bills Creek community, and our friend Gary Wilson is there. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I get woke up here. I'm trying to get woke up.
Pour that coffee real strong.
3 cups of coffee, that'll do it. 3 cups is what it takes sometimes.
Yeah,
we got a quiet 24 hours up here, unlike the day before, so I was glad to see that. But Hudlow's out on a big fire this morning. There's several departments called in over there for a structure fire, so hopefully all those guys will be all right and get everything taken care of and no harm to anybody, hopefully. It sounded like it was about, 6 or 7 departments out on that call over there. Just listening on the pager a while ago.
It's like a house fire? You think so?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, yeah. Mm-hmm. What it sounded like on the pager.
Maybe Bob will have some information on that.
And, everything else up in here is going good and getting ready for Labor Day next weekend, the ending holiday of the summer, I guess, and turn around and be fall year before we know it. But I'll take the warm weather while we got it. We can put off winter as long as we want to.
Yes. And by the time next Thursday gets here, it'll be September.
Yep. So it's about to get here on us. It's going by fast. Sure is. I say it does as it gets older, but I ain't older yet, so I wouldn't know anything about that.
I wouldn't know a thing about that. No, I read a lot about it.
We'll pass that on to somebody else.
Well, listen,
I guess, Jim, you have a good day today.
You have a great day up there, Garrett. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, talk to you then.
Bye-bye.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
All right, here's DeVern reporting from Bostic, North Carolina. DeVern, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am too, yeah. Just glad to be alive.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes, thank goodness.
Okay, up here in Bostic, it's 71 degrees. Fire department had no calls, been quiet there. Washburn's Outreach is giving food boxes out from 8 to 12:30 today. That's right behind Washburn's store. And as you're passing by, stop in at Washburn store and check their items out. They have overhauls. And Whistle Stop Bakery here on Main Street in Bostic. Stop in and get your bakery items. You can put in an order for parties or whatever you need your bakeries for. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
You have a great day, too. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's the Bostic Report. DeVern Upton there reporting to us. Let me remind you, 1 week from today, we'll be broadcasting on the streets in Spindale at Circle B Barbecue from 11 until 1. Live broadcast to help celebrate their grand opening and customer appreciation at Circle B Barbecue. Be good food, cold drinks, giveaways, and bring the kiddos to see number 98 race car and driver Billy Smith, known as Gunslinger. They'll be there. We will, too. Hope to see you there Thursday, September the 1st, 11 to 1 at Circle B Barbecue, Main Street in Spindale. Or, as I like to say, Circle B BBQ, Main Street, Spindale. Or let's check in now with Bob Hodge. He's over in the Hudlow Fire District with news this morning. Bob, good morning.
Well, good Thursday morning.
How you doing today?
We're doing good up here. You're looking sharp this morning.
Well, thank you. I've had a couple of cups of coffee this morning, so I'm about to get awake.
Well, you're looking good there. So just don't spill it on that pretty shirt you got.
I'll tell you, I have done that before many times.
Well, Jim, things are going along pretty good up here this morning. And with the fire department, we answered one medical call. And at 5:30 this morning, we had a call to a structure fire on Shepherd's Creek Circle. And want to say happy birthday to Jeff Crawford and Mick Good this morning. And Jim, that's about it up here this morning, and may we all have a good day today.
Bob, I've had many phone calls yesterday and said, you can't let Bob Hodge retire. We love to listen to him in the mornings.
Oh, well, I thank everybody for that there.
Yeah.
Appreciate them listening there.
Yeah, you got a lot of folks who love to hear you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad everybody been listening to us every morning here, so that's good.
Well, listen, you have a wonderful day up there, and we will check back in with you tomorrow.
Well, I'll see you in the morning.
All right, Bob, thanks.
All right.
7:30 this morning as we continue our circle around the county to find out where the news is. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Now, Cherry Mountain Fire District is our next stop. That's where Sue Price is, and she has that report for us today. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Well, good. It's a nice morning over here. It's not, the sun hasn't quite popped up yet real bright, but anyway, we're expecting to have a good day. And I didn't have any calls from the fire department, so I reckon they've been quiet. On my church calendar this morning, I've got Judy Brown, so I hope Judy will have a good birthday. And on my personal calendar, Trent Self, so happy birthday to Trent. And of course, Trent is on Fairview's calendar, so. And I don't have First Broad, so not too many celebrating, but we hope anybody's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements, the Piney Mountain Boys will be at Duncan's Creek Church Sunday morning during the morning worship service. And so far, that's the only announcement I've got. It's just quiet and calm over here looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. You have a good one, too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
7:32 here on WCAB's Morning Call Around the County newscast on this tremendous Thursday morning.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Well, the Braves had a good day yesterday over the Pirates, had a daytime game, and they beat them 14-2. Good action there with the Braves. They won on Tuesday and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the Braves action. Now, they're off tonight. They're no game tonight, and they play tomorrow night with the Cardinals, but we have a high school football game tomorrow night. All righty, let's go over to Grumpy and Panorama Boston and say hello to our friend Jessica. Jessica, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to talk to you. It's been a while.
I know it sure has, hasn't it?
You're really busy over there, huh?
I have been very, very busy. The business back here has picked up tremendously, and I'm so thankful excited. So everybody come on down and see us. I'm still here. We got let's see, we got 2 bacon biscuits on sale for $3.50 this morning. I haven't made no ribs here lately due to being short-staffed, but hopefully in the next week or two, maybe we can get them ribs back a cooking, and they'll be $6.99 a half a rack of ribs. So just bear with me when it comes to that. Also, we do have a few pizzas that are on special right now. During the hours between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., only a 1-topping hunk pizza you can get for $2.50. That's a big difference in $3.49. So come on down and get that 1-topping hunk pizza for $2.50 from the hours from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we also have been making this new pizza called Cheeseburger. It's got hamburger, bacon, mozzarella cheese, and sharp cheddar cheese, and we just sprinkle some of that on there and run it through the pizza oven, and it's amazing. So everybody come on down and get you some pizza.
That sounds good.
Of course, yes, sir. Of course, we got chicken and all that good stuff, so come on down. We have fresh produce, milk, whatever your necessities are, we've got. Also, remember, our hours are Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and then Sundays the delis are closed, but the store's open from 11 to 6.
All right, Jessica, I do appreciate you being with us. It's good to hear you. Good to hear your voice again on the radio, and
Yes.
we keep encouraging folks to come by and have breakfast with you.
Well, hopefully I can keep some help, and I'll be able to start talking on the radio again.
You still need some help, right?
Even if I wasn't looking for help, all the drop-ins are hiring, so you can go by the main office in Far City and ask for an application and fill it out, and if they're interested, they will give you a call.
Good deal. You have
Yes,
a great
sir.
day over there now.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
7:37 right now, and that's a Shingle Hollow time. And let's talk with Tina, see everything's going on up there. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I like Shingle Hollow time.
I do too. Did when you were growing up, did anybody ever confuse your name and call you Tina instead of Tina?
On occasion, yes.
Yeah. Well, you didn't get hurt by that, did you?
Nope. I've been called a lot worse.
Tell us what's
well,
going on.
It is 69 degrees up here in Shingle Hollow this morning. It's my kind of day. It's overcast and cloudy, hoping to have some rain showers. The fire department was all quiet the past 24 hours. There are no birthdays on the birthday calendars for the local churches, but on my personal calendar, I have my Aunt Susan Hunt. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Susan. And also Stacy Earls, my niece. It's her birthday. So August, lots of family members have birthdays in August. But this Saturday, the White House Community Clubhouse is having a country breakfast buffet and bake sale. From 7 to 10 a.m., there's going to be biscuits and gravy and eggs, pancakes, liver mush, sausage, applesauce, hash browns. $7 for adults. So come on out. And like I said, 7 to 10 this Saturday. And then our revival at Piney Knob Baptist Church is Monday the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st at 7 p.m. each night. There's going to be special singing, and Reverend Leonard Fletcher is bringing the message. Y'all just come on out and have a good revival with us. And that's all I've got this morning that I know of.
All right, Tina, thank you very much. Enjoy your day, and I will see you back here on Friday.
I enjoyed the day, and I just want to tell you this morning I enjoyed the music. I really loved the Southern gospel music this morning.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for all you do. Stay safe. God bless you.
See you. Thank you.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
As I started to mention a moment ago, our football game of the week this week is Pine Lake at Thomas Jefferson, Pine Lake Prep at Thomas Jefferson. The other schools, others include Owen at Chase, RS is at West Caldwell, and East is at Tuscola. High school football continues to be exciting here in Rutherford County, and join us for our broadcast game of the week. Let's go up to Union Mills and see what time the Union Mills football team plays Friday night. Brenda, good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this tremendous Thursday morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine. I don't know if Union Mills has a ball team or not.
Well, would you organize one to be their coach?
Well, I don't know if I could. If it was basketball, I might could coach.
There you
but
go.
I don't know
Now,
about. I don't know about baseball.
There you go. You could get some Tar Heel uniforms and put on them. You'd be in.
There you go.
You'd be in heaven, wouldn't you?
I could say the Union Mills Tar Heels. Y'all been talking about the football and stuff, and I thought, yay, won't be long, it'll be basketball.
That's right. It won't be long.
That's right. We're looking forward to it. I love me some Tar Heel basketball. I just love it. But let's see, I've got 66 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays or any anniversaries, but in ways of announcements, the Kingsman Quartet will be in concert Sunday, August the 28th, 6 p.m. at Corinth Baptist Church, and this is at 767 Pinehurst Road, Ellenboro, NC, and everyone's welcome. And the Union Mills Learning Center on Friday, September the 2nd, 6 p.m., sub-sandwich meal, $6, 7 p.m., homegrown, opens for Possum Creek, and there's no admission, but you do have tip jar available for the band. So far, that's all I got going on. Just short, sweet, and quiet up here. We looking forward to some rain because it's cloudy up here.
Yes, cloudy here. Like we may get some later today.
I hope it's not a bad storm, though.
Boy, me
Yeah,
too.
we've had some really bad storms and it's brought a lot of trees down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just rain will be fine.
Yeah, rain will be fine. We welcome the rain. But I guess you better go check on Luke the Sweet Thing and see if Ellenboro's still down there.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
All right, bye-bye. And that is our next stop over in Ellenboro. But meanwhile, let me suggest that when the kiddos get out of school or getting ready to go to school or getting them fixed up for school, give them a little treat. Take them by Washburn store for this homemade ice cream they sell now. Yeah, they're the place for homemade ice cream. Let's see, they got vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, peach, and kudzu in individual cup sizes, so you don't have to worry about going and finding a dish to put it in. It's already in cup size. So if you got a little time, just sit down on one of the picnic tables or in the rocking chairs out front and enjoy individual cup sizes of homemade ice cream. And you've heard us talk about the overalls. Well, the 18 months up to size 50 is available, and you can get those roundhouse overalls and enjoy those long-lasting clothes to wear. That's the home for it. Washburn General Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Not able to get in touch with Luther from Ellenboro this morning. He may be asleep on one of the park benches over there, so check him out. But we'll get his report on tomorrow. Maybe he'll be on with us this afternoon at the afternoon report. Call around Ellenboro. Right now, though, you can call your birthdays in. This is the 25th of August. August the 25th. Call your birthdays and anniversaries in. Lou standing by to take that call, and we'll give you a big shout-out. Birthdays and anniversaries, 287-3356, 287-3356. Birthdays coming up in just a moment. Meanwhile, let's talk about going to Granny B's. I've seen some of you over there when I go for lunch. I can't get over there for breakfast, but I go there for lunch sometime, and I see some of you enjoying some of the same delicious subs that I'm enjoying. And I know many of you go to breakfast because it is a good breakfast. You can select what you want, what omelet you want, or ham and cheese omelet, just some scrambled eggs and bacon or toast. Or they got a good menu. Check that menu out for breakfast. And when you go in, you'll find that Granny B's is gaining in popularity because they do food right, and they make it worth your while to come by. That's Granny B's for breakfast, lunch, or any kind of snack. All right, I believe it's time to hit the old theme music.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Doris Ramsey up in Golden Valley. Doris Ramsey, good listener, and we wish her a happy birthday today. Rodney Burnett also is celebrating a birthday, so happy birthday, Rodney. And all of you who are celebrating and didn't call yours in, we still hope you have a great birthday and many more happy returns. Now stand by for Keys to Confident Living. Then we'll take you down memory lane with some classic oldies from the vault of treasured music. All straight ahead. 9:05 this morning is My Great America with Jim and Butch. Don't miss that one.
The Auto Illustrator shared a story about a boss who approached one of his most ambitious and enthusiastic workers. He said to the young man, "I've had my eye on you. You're a hard worker, and you put in long hours. You're very ambitious." "Thank you," replied the employee. But the boss added, "So consequently, I'm going to fire you. It's men like you who start competing companies." This humorous story reminds us of the importance of ambition and enthusiasm in getting great things done. These two dynamic ingredients are absolutely essential for anyone who longs to accomplish something more than the ordinary. These are the things that push one to move to the front of the crowd and achieve significant breakthroughs in the workplace, home, church, school, and a host of other endeavors. But to keep ambition and enthusiasm alive is not always easy, but it is important. Someone has said, "No one keeps up his enthusiasm automatically." Enthusiasm must be nourished with new actions, new aspirations, new efforts, and new vision. It's one's own fault if his enthusiasm is gone. He has failed to feed it. The Apostle Paul gave us insight into his ambition and enthusiasm when he said, "Forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward." This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
Good morning. Good morning.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. 3 months after the Texas school shooting that left 19 fourth graders and 2 teachers dead, School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo has been fired. The Uvalde, Texas School Board decision unanimous. ABC's John Quinones was there.
The outraged community taking the mic while the board met in closed session to determine the school police chief's fate.
Our babies are dead. Our teachers are dead.
We need justice for our kids.
Arredondo did not attend the hearing, but submitted a defiant statement, calling the hearing an illegal and unconstitutional public lynching, insisting he did everything he knew how to save the children and school employees.
The families of some of the victims are planning to file a $27 billion lawsuit against several police agencies and the manufacturer of the AR-15 style rifle the shooter used in the massacre. Starting today, helping a woman terminate a pregnancy in Texas could land you in prison for life.
The new Texas law makes abortion illegal at around 6 weeks gestation, when most women don't even realize they're pregnant. It contains no exception for victims of rape or incest. But Governor Greg Abbott insists that
goal number one in the state of Texas is to eliminate rape so that no woman, no person will be a victim of rape.
Although no rape prevention proposals have been presented to the legislature, opponents of abortion rights now plan to target Texas women who seek to leave the state to terminate a pregnancy. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
More than 40 million Americans could see their student loan debt reduced or even eliminated under the long-awaited forgiveness plan that was announced this week by the White House. A jury awarding Kobe Bryant's widow $16 million as a part of a $31 million jury verdict against Los Angeles County deputies and firefighters who shared photos of the helicopter crash that killed Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter, and 7 others. Japan's national police chief announcing his resignation over security shortfalls of the Shinzo Abe assassination. You're listening to ABC News.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Due out in about a half hour, the latest look at jobless claims across the country.
There are plenty of things to worry about when it comes to the economy, but so far the job sector hasn't been one of them. And economists are predicting that this week's jobless claims numbers will reinforce that. First-time filings, which are considered a proxy for layoffs, dropped last week, a sign that hiring is still robust.
ABC's Daria Albinger. Economists predict about 250,000 people filed claims last week. There's word that a strike in Columbus, Ohio has now reached a settlement. The school year started out in virtual mode as teachers there were on strike, not just over money, but also the state of their classrooms. One major complaint had been problems with the air conditioning and heating in their rooms. ABC News correspondent Tracy Wolf tells our Start Here podcast.
There's thousands of school districts all over the country, not just Columbus, Ohio, where they just don't have adequate HVAC systems. A lot of the schools do have ACs, but some days the AC works on one side of the hall and it doesn't work on the other side of the hall. And so one classroom might be 90 degrees on a sweltering hot day while the room across the hall might be 60 degrees.
Again, there's word that in Columbus, a settlement has been reached in that school district strike. A key vote coming up today in California on the future of gas-powered cars. The State of Air Resources Board is set to vote on a proposal that would ban the sale of any new gas vehicles by the year 2035. This is ABC News.
It's been a while since I gave myself a real chance to meet someone new.
Susan and John are two kindred spirits who rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for singles over 50.
John is a massive foodie like me. It's been amazing to experience some of my favorite things again with someone who makes my heart beat faster. I'm so glad I got back out there.
Sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's silversingles.com/love.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione here on this Thursday. We are going to keep scattered showers and storms in the forecast here throughout our day. Otherwise, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and highs topping out in the low 80s by this afternoon. Into tonight, mostly cloudy and muggy with lows falling into the upper 60s and low 70s. We will still see a few showers and storms even into our Friday with mostly sunny skies and highs topping out tomorrow in the upper 80s and low 90s. So warm and muggy to wrap up the week. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Anthony. We have now reached 70 for our high, for our temperature right now. We are going up to 84, expected 84 for our daytime high with partly cloudy skies with a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. About a 30% chance of that. Looks like it could come most any time out there right now with those cloudy skies, but it may hesitate. Hold off until you get ready to go somewhere. All of a sudden, all right, there it is. Just kidding. We have those days, don't we? But it is another great getting up morning in spite of how the clouds look out there. But it is going to be a pretty good day overall. Braves are off tonight. No Braves game tonight. They did win yesterday. Matter of fact, they won 3 in a row with the Pirates Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday. Yesterday was a blowout, 14-2. They're off today and go back in a series with the Cardinals tomorrow. However, we have a high school game of the week tomorrow night, so we'll carry the high school game rather than the Braves. Local sports always override national sports. So our game of the week is Pine Lake Prep at Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy. Now, Thomas Jefferson in a building year this year. They lost a lot of seniors last year, lost head coach last year as well. So they're in a building year, but they think they might be able to come forward and make some good runs this year. Owen is at Chase, RS at Crest Caldwell, and East is at Tuscola. East is in the building year as well, not having a team last year. They're expecting to do well with their first back in season this year. And the Braves, of course, playing the Cardinals tonight. And we'll keep you posted on that score as best we can tonight. So it's going to be a weekend full of sports. High school tonight, Braves baseball all weekend long. And we got right now news from here and there right after we do this.
Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
Smith's Drugs of Forest City is offering the flu vaccines. You can walk in Monday through Friday or by appointment only on Saturdays. The Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers, if you need assistance registering your recall devices, you can call the Home Medical Department at 245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has a large selection of in-stock mastectomy bras, now half price. So come by our Home Equipment Department on West Main Street in Forest City. Smith's Drugs, 245-4591.
I want you to go ahead and mark this date down. 1 week from today, we'll be at Circle B Barbecue from 11 to 1 for a live broadcast, remote broadcast, to help celebrate their grand opening and customer appreciation. Circle B Barbecue right on Main Street there in Spindale. Good food, cold drinks, giveaways, and you can bring the kids or anybody else to see the number 98 race car and driver, Billy Smith, known as Gunslinger. Hope to see you there. That's next Thursday, 1 week from today, 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock at Circle B Barbecue, Main Street there in Spindale. We hope to get that one in on Thursday. Well, there have been reports about people overdosing in the Rutherford County Jail. Sheriff talks a little bit about that in a few minutes on his report, but they have made 2 arrests. 2 people are accused of smuggling in and trading drugs, which led to 5 overdoses in the county detention center. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office said 4 inmates overdosed on Monday, 3 of which had to be taken to Rutherford Regional Medical Center for treatment, and another overdosed on Tuesday. Narcan was administered to all 5 inmates. Investigators said they learned that Dennis James Moore II smuggled 6 fentanyl pills into the detention center in his rectal cavity. Moore had been sentenced to 6 days in jail earlier that day. Once inside the detention center, Rutherford County deputies said Moore conspired with Gary Wayne Terry Jr. to trade the drugs for commissary. The sheriff's office said the overdoses began shortly after the drugs changed hands. Moore and Terry are each charged with possession with intent to sell and deliver Schedule 1 controlled substance, sell and deliver Schedule 1 controlled substance, and possession of a controlled substance inside a confinement facility. Moore and Terry were each given $75,000 bond, the sheriff's office said, and they're still investigating. Still investigation going on, and more charges are expected. Now, let me ask you. Of course, I've never done drugs, but would you want to take a drug that had been brought in somebody's rear end, rectal cavity? No, I don't think that would be the way to do that, but they do what they have to do to get that high. And it seems to me again, I'm not in law enforcement. I'm not a judge or a magistrate or a detective or any of those kind of things. But it seems to me like the penalty on these folks are minor. I mean, the charges are minor, because if you give them somebody smuggling in fentanyl, I mean that could kill them. So why not charge them with attempted murder? Because it could very easily do that. It's done that to a lot of people across the nation. Given $75,000 bond, somehow or other that doesn't seem, and the sentence is very, very mild, it seems. But here again, I'm not a judge. I don't even play one on TV. But boy, it seems like if people are selling or giving this fentanyl to people with a very real high possibility that it could kill them, is that not attempted murder? I'm just asking. A friend wanted to know, so I'm just asking. Meanwhile, up in Buncombe County, it's not just here, folks. It's not just right here. It's all over the place. Up in Buncombe County, a social worker who counseled Buncombe County inmates was arrested for drug possession. Social worker who counseled Buncombe County inmates has been fired after she was arrested last week for possession Schedule 2 drugs. She worked for a national corporation contracted to provide medical services. Her jail access was also revoked, you think? Jones was one of 7 people arrested in a single day last week as Asheville police conducted crime preventions across Asheville. So, professional person, social worker. In some of these liberal states, they talk about defunding the police and bringing in social workers to deal with crisis on the street with gangsters. I'm not painting all social workers with the same brush, but let's increase the funds for police officers. Give them more of what they need, such as these scanners that the sheriff's talking about. More dogs out on the street that's trained to sniff out drugs. And more severe punishment for folks that would pass drugs on to somebody else. If they want to kill themselves, that's one issue. But selling it and giving it to your young person, your youth, your child, your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife, that's giving them something that potentially could kill them. It seems to me like the severity ought to be a little rough, or a little more than, well, don't do this anymore. $75,000 fine, and we'll bring you to court whenever the time comes. Anyway, you'll hear about this on the sheriff's report. The jail has now have a new scanner, body scanner, coming in August 31st. The jail is scheduled to receive a new whole-body security scanning system. Officials believe use of the machine will greatly reduce the incidence of illegal drugs being brought into the facilities. The jail has been plagued with incidents of illegal drugs lately and drug overdoses this year. The most recent one occurred, of course, Monday, when August 22nd, when 4 inmates suffered an overdose. These 4 men were all treated at the jail with Narcan, and 3 were subsequently sent to Rutherford Regional Medical Center for further treatment and later released back to the jail. Investigation of this incident is ongoing. Was any more severe punishment on them because they ingested the illegal drugs? Did they get any more lungs? Did they have to go to isolation? What did they say? Well, don't do that anymore. We'll put you back in the same cell. Is there any severity of punishment when people do that kind of crazy stuff? Investigation of this incident is ongoing. You'll hear more about that. And the sheriff talks about it on his report also. Francis says we're doing everything we can to prevent this, and we have been doing everything we can. Having this new tool will make a tremendous difference. As scanners, which are like a airport scanner. When you go into the airport, they scan you down, make sure they're only beep, 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 beep. And they do the drugs the same way. Well, the Office of Consulate General of Mexico will be on the campus of Isothermal Community College this month to assist documented Mexican citizens with issues related to their home country. The event will be Saturday, August 27th and Sunday, August 28th. The Saturday event will be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then on Sunday, the hours will be from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The event will be held at the Foundation Performing Arts and Conference Center on the college's Spindale campus. The Raleigh-based Mexican Consulate Office, which covers North Carolina and South Carolina, will host the event. Mexican citizens will be able to make appointments with officials who can assist with document requests, including passports, visas for other countries, and birth certificates. Appointments can be made starting Wednesday. Yesterday, while visiting consumerx.sre. Let me just give you the phone number. All those makes it difficult for anybody to call, pull that up. It's got the HTTPS. So, here, if you're interested, want to know more about it, call 828-652-0727 or 828-707-3979. Only the person requesting assistance will be seen at the appointment. However, several other groups will be on hand with additional information and services. This includes the Foothills Health District and Centro Unido Latino Americano. Meanwhile, the North Carolina Foothills Farm Tour returns to this region Saturday, October the 15th. The event will feature 4 farms across Rutherford and Polk counties. The farm tour is described by organizers from Cooperative Extension as an intensive educational session where visitors will meet and learn from local food growers. Tours will include walkthroughs, question and answer sessions, and the opportunity to see their inner workings of local food growing operations. Farms on the tour in Rutherford County are Cherry Mountain Farm on Morganton Road, U.S. Highway 64 near Rutherford, the Bellflower Farm in Sunshine Community and in Polk County High School Farm, and Parker Benz Winery. Participants say getting to spend time with farmers themselves and getting a close-up view of how their farm operations work make this event worthwhile. The cost of the event is $5 per person. If you need more information or want to sign up, visit online at ncfoothillsfarmtour.com. That was a little bit simpler. www.ncfoothillsfarmtour.com. They'll fix you right up. 18 minutes past 8 o'clock. The sheriff's report coming up in just a moment.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Sheriff Chris Francis was with us earlier, gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department in the county. We recorded for broadcast at this time. Sheriff?
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 124 calls of service. There have been 16 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we had 211. Among those arrested, Timothy Dale Frazier, 56-year-old male of Shelby, was charged with failure to appear, received a $4,000 secured bond. Shelton Antoine Price, 28-year-old male of Kings Mountain, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 secured bond. Paige Lorraine Lovelace, 27-year-old female of Shelby, was charged with possession of firearm by felon and littering, received a $25,000 secure bond. Christopher Allen Walker, 27-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of a firearm by felon and fleeing elude arrest, received a $25,000 secure bond. Ronald Mark Walker, 57-year-old male of Boston, was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and trespass, received a written promise to appear. Yuri Jabbar Bowden, 38-year-old male of Redmond, was charged on a true bill, received a written promise to appear. Farrah Gwen Winters, 44-year-old female of Redmond, was charged on a true bill of indictment for habitual felon, also received a written promise to appear. Dennis James Moore II, 26-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of controlled substance in jail, possession with intent to sell and deliver Schedule 1, and selling Schedule 1 controlled substance, and received a $75,000 secure bond. Gary Wayne Terry, 25-year-old male of Forest City, was also charged with possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule 1, sell Schedule 1, and possession of controlled substance in jail facility. Kip Allen Cooper, 43-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver meth, possession of stolen goods, drug paraphernalia, driving while license revoked, received a $15,000 secure bond. Carl Stephen Raschke, 33-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, felony possession and resist obstruct delay, received a $6,000 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had an attempt to obtain property by false pretense on Webb Road in Ellenborough. Someone tried to use the victim's credit card, or actually their debit card, to put money on Cash App. They failed doing so, but hopefully we can identify that person. We had a possession of firearm by felon and littering fleet to elude arrest. The gun was a 9mm Beretta that was thrown out, and this is the case where Paige Lovelace was taken into custody, as well as Christopher Walker. We had a possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver meth, driving while license revoked, drug paraphernalia. This was a vehicle stop on Long Branch Road in US 221. Kip Cooper had been stopped there. They were able to locate the meth and the baggies, multiple baggies, as well as he did not have a license and he had a warrant for possession of stolen goods previously. We had a B&E in larceny on Golden Oaks Lane. It was a Nintendo Switch, valued at $400 taken, a 28-inch Vizio flat-screen TV valued at $200 that was taken, and a pair of red Air Max shoes. They were red and white, valued at $225 that were taken, and there is a suspect in that case. We have a felony possession of Schedule 2 resist obstruct delay 221A in Sandy Mush. Deputies were looking for a suspect in a domestic, located him there on 221A in the Sandy Mush area, some of the side streets. He took off running. Deputies were able to locate him, and he had been in possession of Schedule 2 methamphetamine, and was also charged for running while they identified themselves and asked him to stop while they were investigating the domestic assault that he had previously been involved in. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Sheriff, you mentioned this briefly on Tuesday. Could you take just a moment to elaborate on the new scanner that's coming, that's going to help defy off the drugs that might be smuggling in?
Yes, sir. We're excited about getting this full-body scanner, so X-ray machine. We've been working on purchasing this and getting it into the facility for over or almost a year now. We started last year really hard. We located the funds to purchase it, and then we had to wait on the Department of Health and Human Services that regulate any instrument or machine that uses X-ray. So we finally got that clearance, and it's scheduled to be in on the 31st. We'll immediately start training on that. It's very similar if you go to an airport before you board a plane. It's going to be able to detect both any object, not just a metal object. It will be able to help locate if someone has swallowed something that could be some sort of a baggie containing narcotics, any cavity, as well as anything that they could possibly sew into or have hidden about their body. So we're excited about that. It's going to be a great safety feature that's added to the sheriff's office, and excited to get that next week and get trained up on it.
Well, that's going to be a great thing to have around, isn't it?
It is, and we're also glad to have got the correct people charged, Dennis Moore and Gary Wayne Terry, that were involved in the distribution of the narcotics, the fentanyl pills that were pressed. It was appears to have only been 6 pills that were quartered up and caused all this problem. 6 small pills caused all that problem that we had this week. It's hard for a lot of people to understand how deadly that these, how dangerous that fentanyl pills can be and how small they are. But please become educated and understand how dangerous that stuff is.
2 runs over 6 innings with 10 strikeouts. His catcher, Austin Barnes.
He was really good. His fastball had a lot of life on it. They threw his slider really well today, too. He got a lot of swing and miss. I think he had 10 punchies, so it was a really good start.
Barnes hit a 2-run homer and had 4 RBIs. Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, and Joey Gallo each drove in 2. Milwaukee's Adrian Hauser was rocked for 5 runs over just 2 1/3 innings. Hauser drops to 4 and 9. Mark Myers, Los Angeles.
A sweep from the Phillies. Here's Dave Ferry.
The Phillies beat the Reds for the 3rd straight day as JT Realmuto and Rhys Hoskins led Philadelphia to a 7-5 victory. Realmuto sparked a 4-run third with a leadoff homer. Hoskins had 3 RBIs, including a run-scoring single that made it 7-4 in the 7th. Gene Segura added 3 hits for the Phillies, who won the 2nd NL wildcard spot. Kyle Farmer and Stuart Fairchild homered for the Reds. Christopher Sanchez struck out 7 in 6 innings, allowing 3 runs and 6 hits to get the win. David Robertson got 3 outs for his 18th save. I'm Dave Ferry.
Guardians shutting out the Padres 7-0. Cleveland catcher Luke Maile.
We took it to a pretty good team the last couple days, so it feels good. We're not going to win every single game, but we're going to have a pretty good reservoir of success to draw from with some of these series we put together, and that's a good thing.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
North Carolina, it's time to get out here.
Time to see some friends.
And see some familiar faces.
It's time to protect yourself and look out for one another.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, you have a spot to take your shot.
You have a spot to take your shot.
You have a spot, take your shot.
Everyone 6 months and older can get a COVID-19 vaccine. Visit myspot.nc.gov for more information.
Did you know the world's largest natural habitat zoo is your North Carolina Zoo? Located just south of Asheboro, the North Carolina Zoo is home to 1,700 animals on over 500 shaded acres. Your visit also helps support the zoo's mission of protecting wildlife and wild places, not just in North Carolina, but all around the world. Open 7 days a week. Plan your next zoo adventure at nczoo.org. That's nczoo.org.
In a battle between the top 2 teams in the International League, the West leading Nashville Sounds beating the East leading Durham Bulls for the 2nd night in a row last night at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. Kobe Bryant's widow awarded $16 million as part of a $31 million jury verdict yesterday against Los Angeles County for deputies and firefighters sharing grisly photos of the NBA star after his death. Carter Evans has more.
Well, Vanessa Bryant cried and held her attorney's hand as the jury's decision was read aloud. In the end, they sided with Vanessa Bryant, awarding her $16 million, and another plaintiff in the case, $15 million. His name is Chris Chester. His wife and daughter were killed in that crash as well.
WNBA playoffs, Connecticut over Dallas, 73-58. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione here on this Thursday. We are going to keep scattered showers and storms in the forecast here throughout our day. Otherwise, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and highs topping out in the low 80s by this afternoon. Into tonight, mostly cloudy and muggy with lows falling into the upper 60s and low 70s. We will still see a few showers and storms even into our Friday with mostly sunny skies and highs topping out tomorrow in the upper 80s and low 90s. So warm and muggy to wrap up the week. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Well, it sure looks like it could rain any minute, but rain's in the forecast maybe for later today, but only a slight chance. But those slight chances sometime turn into heavy rain. We'll see what happens. We'll watch that for you. Be sure to stay tuned. And according to Peter, the meter reader is 70 degrees outside. Just a couple of minutes, I want to talk with you a little bit about the student loan bailout that President Biden has encouraged, and we'll see how unfair that is from different perspectives in just a moment.
Did you know that approximately 34% of women worldwide are affected by urinary incontinence? But there is good news. You don't have to suffer anymore. Brock Family Care in Forest City is excited to introduce a breakthrough treatment for urinary incontinence called BTL Emsella. All you have to do is sit on the Emsella chair for 30 minutes fully clothed, 2 times a week for 3 weeks, and your quality of life will significantly improve. Sound interesting? Then call 828-382-7282 to learn more about this amazing treatment, or visit our website at www.brockfamilycare.com.
And we'll look at that student bailout here in just a few moments, but just a couple of other local stories, along with hundreds of other animal rescue shelters across the United States. Heart of Foothills Animal Rescue in Rutherfordton will hold a Clean the Shelter event on Saturday. According to Scott Carpenter's article in the Courier, the national event began in 2015 to focus on shelter animals and encourage adoptions. Events are held throughout August to encourage more animal adoptions. The event will be from 12:30 to 3 o'clock at the Heart of Foothills Animal Rescue, US 221 North in Rutherford near RS Central High School. The food will be available for sale: sloppy joes, hot dogs, chips, drinks, baked goods, with all the proceeds directly supporting animal care. The executive director, Karen Parker, said this is our first year participating in Clear the Shelter. We hope to have visitors who may have never been to the rescue center before. Adoptions have been slow this summer. There are 150 animals in Hayfar's care right now, including both on-site animals and those in foster homes. There are now approximately 50 animals that need to be adopted, so keep that in mind and be a part of that. If you'd like to save the life of some animal, make a pet out of them. Everybody needs a little pet. I thought this was interesting from Morgan Moore. The average North Carolinian would give up 3 years of their life to keep eating fast food, according to a survey. How about you? Would you? 1 in 5 believe a burrito has the greatest health benefits. 60% would rather give up alcohol than fast food. The average person said the last time they did any type of aerobic exercise was 3 months ago. There are many behaviors, according to Morgan Moore, many behaviors and habits many of us develop and continue despite studies having proven that they have adverse health complications from overconsumption of ultra-processed food and skimping on exercise. In fact, a recent study revealed that eating junk food contributes to cognitive decline as well. However, many Americans continue to eat fast food despite knowing that it could take years off their lives. This was evidenced by a recent 3,222-person survey conducted by DrugGenius.com, a provider of reliable evidence-based information about prescription medication. The results revealed that the average North Carolinian would give up 3 years of their life to continue eating fast food. In fact, 51% also admitted that they flat out ignore frequent studies that warn of the health risks of eating too much fast food. When these figures were analyzed in each state, the places in which people were willing to forego the greatest number of years to keep eating unhealthy food were Hawaii, Montana, and North Dakota. People in these states would give up a whopping 12 years of their life to maintain this kind of diet. Comparatively, these figures were lowest in Alaska, Colorado, Maine, and Mississippi, where the average person would forego just 2 years of their life to keep making these dietary choices. So, would you give up 3 years of your life if you knew that, to keep eating fast foods? Interesting. Folks in Alaska, they can just go out and catch a fish and catch a salmon and cook it up and eat healthy. 62% of voters, this is according to CNS News, 62% of voters say fake news is a very serious problem and that media bias is getting worse, according to Rasmussen. 4 out of 5 U.S. likely voters say fake news is a serious problem, and only 1 in 10 expected to get any better, according to Rasmussen. Fully 82% of voters say fake news in the media is at least a somewhat serious problem, including 62% who deem it a very serious problem. Rasmussen's survey of 1,000 U.S. likely voters conducted August 21st through the 22nd. Strong majorities of Republicans, 90%, Democrats 78%, and Independents 78%, all call fake news a serious problem, as do members of every demographic group, age, race, and income. When it comes to politics, only 1 in 3, 32%, U.S. voters say they trust the news they're getting, while a majority, 52%, say they don't. Another 16% aren't sure. The only demographic groups where a majority of voters trust the media political news are Democrats, 55%, and self-described liberals, 56%. What's more, voters say the outlook for fair and balanced news is bleak. Six times as many voters, 62%, say the problem of media bias is getting worse as think it's getting better. About 1 in 4 don't see much change. Even a third of those who do trust the political news they're getting think media bias is increasing. Whatever happened to the days of Walter Cronkite? I mean, he was certainly a Democrat, liberal, but you never knew it as he reported the news. Of course, we didn't have analytical news people back then. We had news reporters. Chet Brinkley, who was it? David, they had worked team together. And then as 24-hour news networks came into being, they had to play one-upsmanship. Well, I'll tell that story before you do, and I'm going to pad that story before you do. And now it's a combative news angle, and I got mine around the corner in a dark circle. Where'd you get your story? Well, it's we just have to really be sure where you get it. And many of the stories on social media, many of those are never, ever accurate. They do what many of the headlines of the newspaper do. They give a salacious headline, and then you go down in the story, and it's not really that accurate. A lot of these news stories come across the internet. They tease you with a salacious headline, and then you read in the story, it has nothing really to do with the headline much at all. But that's the society in which we live until another generation, I guess, of folks in the journalistic business are teaching and training young people in college universities to become objective in their news. We're going to continue this I'll play one-upsmanship on you. Now, it seems, according to what I'm reading, it seems like CNN may be beginning to make a turn. And they've got a new boss over there. They've let some very liberal folks go, get rid of what they call reliable sources. He's gone. And I think the new man, as I'm reading, I think he's a libertarian. So he'll see things a little bit different. He'll guide the process of news a little bit different. So we'll see what takes place in that respect. Foxes seem to be all over the board right now, and they're reporting too. They used to count on them to being sort of accurate and conservative. They're all over the board right now, so we'll see. Anyway, let's talk about something else that's on the hearts and minds of a lot of people, because that's what the president said about the student loan bailout. Now, this bailout has more to do with, well, I paid my student loan, he should pay his. It's more than, well, my son got loans and we all paid that back after a struggle. I think everybody ought to pay. It's more than that. It's what it's doing to the country. In unilaterally canceling up to $20,000 in student loan debt for borrowing earnings less than $125,000 annually, the Biden administration on Wednesday put into motion a plan that will further inflate college costs, hinder economic growth, reward upper-income earners, and provide a major handout to woke institutions of higher education. Notice that first part, further inflate college cost. The administration has stuck its thumb in the eye of millions of working Americans who don't hold college degrees but who will bear the cost of this federal handout. The administration is also rubbing salt in the wounds of those responsible borrowers who worked their way through college to avoid debt, and who worked hard to pay off their college debt after graduating. Lindsey Burke is writing this column from the Daily Signal. The millions of Americans who graduated from college lived modestly and did without fancy dinners and vacations so they could diligently repay the debt they agreed to pay back are wondering why they will get no such rebate. We put ours in. Is there no rebate back to us? We sacrificed to get ours. I had to get a college loan when I came through college. They deferred it for a couple of years while I taught school. Is one of those, if you teach, they deduct so much of it off. It's one of those kind of loans. And then I had to go in service, went in 4 years, and they didn't deduct anything, but they just didn't make me pay it back. They put it on hold until I got out of service. So then when I got out of service, I started paying back my student loan. Took me a while to do it. So I had to borrow a lot to get through 4 years of college. But I did pay it back over a time. They had to pay hers back over time. But it's not about I paid mine, they ought to pay theirs. It's not about that. It's the idea of what this is going to do to our country. The college tuition will go up. So should the Americans who eschewed college altogether because they thought it was a bad value proposition, which the Biden administration has admitted through the very move to cancel debt, what about these folks who got their way through life without going to college, where the taxpayers are paying that student loan? The plan is an unfair handout to big education, which will gladly keep raising tuition and a politically favorable constituency of relatively wealthy, more highly educated voters. It's a continued pile-on with increased tuition for colleges and universities. The debt cancellation includes household income of up to $250,000, while the national median family income is only $80,000 at best. Biden's boondoggle bailout will also, as Clinton-era Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summey recently pointed out, have both macro, whole of economy, and micro tuition prices, inflationary effects. History demonstrated that federal subsidies have enabled colleges to raise prices with abandon. Since 1991-92 academic year, total federal aid, including student loans and grants, increased 295%. So in response, colleges and universities more than doubled their tuition and fees in real terms. Makes it harder and harder for students to go to college because of the high rate of tuition. So they take out loans, and the president wants to forgive those loans. Penn Wharton estimates the loan cancellation would cost at least $300 billion, with about 70% of the forgiveness going to top 60% of households by income distribution. On top of that, every month federal taxpayers are losing $5 billion in accrued interest as a result of the separate ongoing repayment moratorium. All of this makes extending the pause on repayments, Biden also announced Wednesday, equally bad policy. And according to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, the higher income earners, such as doctors and lawyers, benefit the most from the continued repayment pause, with law degree holders receiving an estimated $29,500 in forgiveness through policies like canceled interest resulting from the pause. Holders of medical degrees have received a staggering average of $48,500 in debt cancellation. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates that if the pause were to continue through August 2023, this is 22, August 22, if it continues through August 23, doctors and lawyers would have respective total benefits of $89,500 and $54,500 per person. Of course, those are the professionals most able to pay their student loans. It's true that student loan debt is high in aggressive terms. Federal student loan programs account for most of the $1.7 trillion in outstanding student loan debt, but for most borrowers, median monthly loan payment, which are $220 per month or under $2,700 a year, are manageable. If they aren't, even better repayment options already exist. Many colleges and universities will work with people in terms of getting it paid off. Indeed, about half of all loans issued through the Federal Direct Loan Program are currently being repaid through income-driven repayment plans, which cap monthly loan payments based on income. So there's a way for students to fulfill their obligation. Loan forgiveness ultimately rewards the bad behavior of universities while punishing working Americans who didn't want to or couldn't, for whatever reason, attain a college degree. When colleges raise tuition, knowing that the government's easy money will let them charge more and more, they will not plow the money into faculty salaries, but instead into, in large measures, a growing army of diversity, equity, and inclusion, officers and other administrative busybodies. One of the most offenders, the University of Michigan, for instance, employs 163 people for diversity, equity, and inclusion programming and services. 163 people. As the Independent Women's Forum's Inez Stepman put it, the plan robs the working class to provide a bailout for the woke managerial class. This bailout that the president mentioned, was it yesterday or day before yesterday, this week, created intractable policy puzzles going forward. What happens to the next cohort of borrowers currently signing on the dotted line for their next student loans as the academic year begins? An older sister gets $10,000 or $20,000 off while her younger sister does not. And the moral hazard is massive. Students will understandably expect their loans to be forgiven going forward. It's hard to roll these things back once they get going. So let's go to big, expensive schools and get all this big money as a loan, and no, we don't have to pay it back. The president said we didn't. That expectation could lead to increases in borrowing and decisions to delay payments. Past borrowers who repaid their debts have been handed an unfair bill for someone else's loan. Yes, those of you who paid your college tuition bill, you're to be commended. You honored your promise. Past borrowers who repaid their debts have been handed an unfair bill for someone else's loan. Future borrowers, this generation coming into college now, and children currently in elementary and secondary school can expect even higher college prices as a result of this forgiveness. You watch it. If we live long enough, and I hope we do, I hope they somehow can roll this thing back, but it would be hard to design a more unfair, regressive, and inflationary policy if you tried than this college loan forgiveness. He's even been scolded by some members of his own party, saying how unfair it is not healthy for America. But as many other things, he's toned deaf or only has selective hearing. He just ignores it and goes right on because the extreme left is guiding his path and jerking his chain, and he's listening to them more so than the average American citizen. I know he's not expected to listen to the Republicans, but he's not even listening to some of the more conservative Democrats when they say his decisions are hurtful for America, hurtful for our economy. Tune out, and continues to do whatever. I don't know. Sometimes you just throw all this stuff up against the wall and hope it sticks, or see what sticks and what doesn't stick. I don't know. It's some bad decisions been made there. We'll see what happens come November. All right, it's 8:49. That's enough for me right now as we get ready for My Great America with Jim and Butch coming up in just a few moments right after this.
Saving money is easy when you shop at Jay's Discount Grocery. From snack foods to vegetables, fresh fruits to fresh cut meats, paper products, cleaning supplies, dog food, and so much more. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. So shop and save today. They're located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City, right beside the Hospice Resale Store. You know, when you shop at Jay's, you always walk out with money left over in your pocket. Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Rutherfordton has been a family business since 1953, offering care, dignity, honor, and unique opportunities for families to create a healing moment after a loss. John McMahon and his fine staff bring experience coupled with perspective to help in paying tribute in a traditional or unique way. Call 287-4715 or visit online today at www.mattmahansfuneralhome.com. There, you can view current obituary information or pre-plan for yourself or loved ones. Matt Mahan's Funeral Home offers healing to the community through burial and cremation services, grief support, whether it's a funeral or a memorial service. Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services knows the importance of ceremony and will guide you in honoring the life and memories of your loved one. Call Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services today at 287-4715 or visit them at 249 South Main Street in Rutherfordton.
Well, we'll get a chance to talk again, I hope, real soon. Tomorrow won't have a whole lot of time. We have the program Real Estate Insights with Beth Helton tomorrow morning, a little after 8 o'clock. And I think maybe tomorrow morning, maybe the morning Virginia Fox would be calling in. I'll have to check my schedule. But maybe next Tuesday when I have a little more time, we can talk a little bit more about some of the things about how they're calling evil good and good evil, and the secret weapon to seduce, mesmerize Americans are now being revealed. What's happening out there in the cultural war? But we talk about good things, positive things with My Great America with Jim and Butch, and that'll be coming up here in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, folks, have a wonderful, wonderful, terrific Thursday morning. I'll see you back here in a few minutes.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.